Did you know that your brain is constantly chasing pleasure, and it's all thanks to a chemical called dopamine? It's the reason you feel motivated, excited, and even the driving force behind your addictions. But here's the shocking part. Most of us are overloading our brains with so much dopamine that it's actually doing more harm than good. In fact, studies show that the average person checks their phone over 150 times a day. That's a lot of dopamine hits in a short time. No wonder we feel distracted, unproductive, and stuck. What if I told you that resetting your dopamine could completely change your life? Imagine being able to find joy in simple things again, boost your focus, and unlock levels of motivation you didn't know you had. The best part? It's not as hard as you think. In this video, we'll dive into practical steps to reset your dopamine, boost your brain's natural reward system, and reclaim control of your mind. Get ready to learn how to reset your brain, stop the dopamine overload, and start living a life that feels exciting, fulfilling, and purposeful. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Dopamine Dilemma. Why you feel stuck. Dopamine is the chemical messenger responsible for pleasure, motivation, and reward. It's the brain's feel-good hormone, but it's more than just a quick fix of happiness. Over time, your dopamine system can get stuck in a loop, constantly chasing after rewards that no longer satisfy. Have you ever felt like you're doing a lot, but somehow still feel unfulfilled? That's dopamine at play. With social media, junk food, and endless distractions, our dopamine system is overloaded and out of balance. Studies show that when we constantly indulge in quick rewards, like scrolling through Instagram or eating sugary snacks, we reset our brain's natural sense of satisfaction. Dr. Anna Lemke, a psychiatrist and author of Dopamine Nation, says, "In a world full of easy dopamine hits, we've lost our ability to feel content without them." This overstimulation leads to a dopamine deficit when we step away from these instant gratifications. You may find it harder to focus, get motivated, or feel joy in simple, everyday moments. According to recent research, dopamine depletion can even lead to feelings of anxiety and depression. The more we seek pleasure through instant rewards, the less our brains are able to produce dopamine naturally. To break the cycle, it's important to first recognize the problem. Awareness is the first step in resetting your brain. If you notice you're always looking for a dopamine hit, whether it's through social media, binge-watching shows, or eating junk food, it's time to take action. A study in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions found that taking regular breaks from these dopamine-depleting activities can significantly improve mood and productivity. Resetting your dopamine is about reducing overstimulation and learning how to enjoy life without the constant need for a quick fix. Chapter 2. Breaking the Cycle. Declutter your dopamine diet. One of the most powerful ways to reset your dopamine is to go on a dopamine detox, or fast. But this isn't about starving yourself or depriving your body of essential nutrients. It's about taking a break from the things that flood your brain with constant stimulation. This could be as simple as putting down your phone for a few hours, stepping away from social media, or even taking a break from sugary snacks. Imagine treating your brain like a smartphone battery. If it's constantly being used and charged, it gets overworked and starts draining faster. The key is to give it time to recharge. A dopamine fast doesn't mean doing nothing. Instead, it's about switching to activities that don't overstimulate the brain but still bring satisfaction. Reading a book, going for a walk in nature, or practicing mindfulness are great ways to reset. According to Psychology Today, these activities help rebuild the brain's natural dopamine cycle, making it easier to feel content with less. Research from Stanford University shows that even a small period of time without distractions can have a significant impact on your mental clarity. One study found that taking just 30 minutes of digital detox a day significantly improved attention span and lowered stress levels. It's not about depriving yourself of fun, but instead about giving your brain space to reset. This process of decluttering your dopamine diet helps your brain become more sensitive to natural rewards. Instead of needing a constant stream of dopamine, you'll start to feel fulfilled by simple things. It's about teaching your brain to enjoy life without needing external validation. The results? Better focus, increased productivity, and a greater sense of well-being. Chapter 3. The Joy of Boredom. Embrace the quiet moments. In a world where everything is fast-paced and connected, boredom has become a rare commodity. but embracing boredom might be one of the most important things you can do to reset your dopamine. Boredom, far from being a bad thing, allows your brain to reset and recharge. It's in these quiet, unstructured moments that creativity and self-reflection thrive. When you're bored, your mind is forced to wander. This can lead to new insights, ideas, and solutions to problems. Dr. Sandy Mann, an expert on boredom, explains that boredom is a powerful trigger for creativity. Your brain is given the freedom to process thoughts without distractions. Instead of reaching for your phone or finding something to fill the space, let your mind wander and see where it takes you. Interestingly, studies have shown that boredom can also boost productivity. A study from the University of California found that people who allowed themselves to be bored were better at problem solving and completing creative tasks. It turns out that when we give ourselves time to be bored, our brains enter a mode of reflection and innovation. So, how do you embrace boredom in a healthy way? Start by scheduling time for it. Yes, that's right, put boredom on your calendar. Whether it's 5 minutes of doing nothing or a whole afternoon without distractions, let yourself sit with the stillness. By doing this regularly, you'll retrain your brain to enjoy the present moment without needing constant stimulation. Another great way to enjoy boredom is by taking part in activities that don't require instant gratification. Simple practices like journaling, walking in nature, or practicing deep breathing can bring a sense of peace that resets your dopamine system. Instead of reaching for your phone, try engaging in something you can savor slowly. This will help you break the addiction to constant dopamine hits and start enjoying life more deeply. The more you embrace boredom, the more your brain learns to find joy in the simplest moments. Chapter 4. Rewire your brain with micro-habits. Small shifts, big gains. Resetting your dopamine doesn't need to involve drastic life changes. In fact, making small, manageable adjustments to your daily routine can have a huge impact on your brain's chemistry. These micro-habits may seem insignificant, but over time, they can completely rewire your brain. It's like starting with a single thread in a sweater and slowly weaving it into something much bigger. The beauty of micro-habits lies in their simplicity. For instance, instead of trying to overhaul your entire morning routine, start by adding one small, positive activity, like drinking a glass of water right when you wake up. Research from Duke University shows that 40% of our daily actions are habitual, meaning tiny changes can lead to big results. When you consistently make these small changes, you start to build new neural pathways that boost dopamine naturally. To kick off your dopamine reset, think about one small habit you can implement today. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk after lunch or writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed. These small steps help break the cycle of overstimulation and gradually return your brain to a more balanced state. Dr. B.J. Fogg, author of Tiny Habits, suggests focusing on habits that are so small they feel too easy to fail. This makes them stick. And over time, these tiny habits build up into something powerful. One of the best things about micro-habits is they don't require willpower or huge amounts of time. You don't need an hour at the gym every day to reset your dopamine. You can start with a 10-minute stretch each morning or a short journaling session in the evening. The trick is consistency. When you repeat these actions daily, they become part of your routine, and your brain's reward system starts responding more positively to simple, healthy behaviors. A study from the University of London found that it takes, on average, 66 days for a new habit to become automatic. That means if you stick with a micro-habit long enough, it'll become ingrained in your daily life, making it easier to maintain a balanced dopamine level. If you're finding these strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more life-changing tips and updates. Let's keep this journey going. Chapter 5. The Dopamine Diet. Fueling your brain for success. What you eat directly impacts your brain's ability to produce dopamine. The foods you choose can either help balance your dopamine system or fuel the cycle of overstimulation. A dopamine diet is not about restricting yourself, it's about nourishing your brain with the right nutrients. This shift can make a huge difference in how motivated, energized, and focused you feel every day. Dopamine is made from an amino acid called tyrosine, which is found in protein-rich foods. So, incorporating more protein into your diet is essential for dopamine production. Eggs, turkey, salmon, and beans are excellent sources. Studies show that protein-rich foods not only help boost dopamine levels but also increase motivation and focus. When you're eating the right foods, you're giving your brain the building blocks it needs to function optimally. In addition to protein, healthy fats are crucial for dopamine production. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in foods like walnuts, flax seeds, and fatty fish, help improve brain health and cognition. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology shows that omega-3s not only support dopamine regulation but also reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. These healthy fats help ensure that your brain operates at its best, making it easier to stay motivated and focused. But a dopamine diet isn't just about the good foods. It's equally important to avoid those that deplete dopamine over time. Foods high in sugar and processed carbohydrates can cause dopamine spikes followed by crashes, leaving you feeling sluggish and unmotivated. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, consuming too much sugar can have similar effects on the brain as taking addictive substances, leading to a cycle of constant cravings. You also want to focus on micronutrients that support brain health. Magnesium, for example, is essential for dopamine receptor sensitivity. Foods like spinach, almonds, and dark chocolate can provide a natural magnesium boost. The Journal of Neurochemistry found that magnesium plays a significant role in dopamine function, making it an important nutrient to include in your dopamine-boosting diet. Don't forget about hydration. The brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can affect dopamine production. The Journal of Nutrition published a study showing that dehydration can cause irritability, lack of concentration, and reduced energy. Drinking enough water throughout the day ensures that your brain has the resources it needs to function optimally. Chapter 6. Unleashing your peak potential. Dopamine is a life catalyst. Once you've reset your dopamine system and balanced your brain's reward chemistry, it's time to harness this newfound clarity to achieve your biggest goals. A healthy dopamine system doesn't just make you feel good, it drives you to take action. When you're able to tap into your brain's natural motivation system, you unlock your peak potential. The first step is setting meaningful, long-term goals. Dopamine is a reward system, so when you make progress toward a goal, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing your desire to keep going. But goals need to be specific and achievable. Studies in behavioral psychology show that breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks makes them less overwhelming and more likely to be completed. Instead of aiming for vague goals like get fit, break it down into smaller steps. Exercise for 30 minutes every morning. The dopamine boost you get from completing these mini tasks will keep you on track. Another way to tap into your peak potential is by using positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for hitting milestones, no matter how small. Whether it's treating yourself to something you love after finishing a project or enjoying a moment of relaxation, these rewards reinforce the connection between effort and success. Dr. Kelly McGonigal, author of The Willpower Instinct, emphasizes the importance of celebrating your progress. This process of rewarding yourself boosts dopamine, making it easier to stay motivated long-term. The power of dopamine is also in its ability to make you feel engaged in what you do. To really tap into this, you need to engage in activities that challenge you but don't overwhelm you. A study from the University of Chicago found that when people are in a flow state, where they are fully immersed in a task that challenges them but feels achievable, they experience higher dopamine levels and greater satisfaction. Seek out tasks that are stimulating but manageable, and you'll see your dopamine levels and your productivity skyrocket. As you move toward your goals, remember that consistency is key. Success doesn't come overnight, but every step forward is a step toward unlocking your peak potential. By resetting your dopamine and learning how to harness its power, you'll not only achieve your goals, but you'll also enjoy the process along the way. The key to unleashing your full potential is understanding that dopamine isn't just about chasing the next high. It's about creating a balanced, sustainable relationship with your brain's reward system. With a reset dopamine system, you can achieve long-term success and create a life filled with purpose, motivation, and satisfaction. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to take control of your life and mind. See you in the next video.